Hello, and welcome to As Far as the Eye. This is a brand new game from Unexpected Studio and Goblins Studio, and it's a 3D turn-based city builder where it's the player versus the environment, which kind of fits right up my alley there. But the turn-based is a little new and a little bit different. I've played a couple of the tutorial campaign steps just to kind of see what it's like, how the gameplay goes, and I'm impressed with the game. It's a really cool game. It's got a really unique story, and it's a lot of fun. So let's get started. Let's go back into the campaign and get started here. And I'm going to go ahead and start over again at Chapter 1 with Oku the Vigilant. And we're just going to show you what the game is all about here by playing through these chapters in the campaign tutorial here. So, Chapter 1, Oku the Vigilant. In this first chapter, guide Oku to the Eye by repairing a bridge. Learn how to move units and explore. Gather resources, complete your objectives, and prepare the caravan for departure. Lulu and Oku await you for a first adventure, accessible to all. At the cusp of the 456th blink, the sigh awakens. The growling of the waves free it from its long slumber. Its time has come, so it speeds. The waters approach, and the cycle begins again. The wave comes to cover the earth and ensures prosperity for future generations. In the meantime, guided by the wind, peoples of this land must take shelter. People set off on their long journey to meet up at the Eye, their cyclical sanctuary, place of the great meeting. They will live together until their next separation at the end of the cycle. Here they will share their knowledge gained during the last 456 blinks. Later, the great tears will drain away, and it will become time to leave and start all over. So, I'm guessing that a blink is a day. The sigh is, as far as I can tell, the wind. But it might be more than the wind. And then the cycle, as far as I can tell, is a year maybe. And the Eye is kind of the home of our people here. And we're going to meet more of these people as we play the game, but we're going to start out here with just one. So, you are the wind. You awaken to the sound of lapping water. The cycle begins again. It is time to accomplish your destiny. This is Oku. Oku is a pupil. Pupils are little curious beings that live in harmony with nature. They form tribes and settle in little villages. And of course, we have camera controls with the mouse here, and you can also click the mouse wheel to rotate, scroll the mouse wheel to zoom, and then you can edge scroll. There are some keyboard controls as well, but the mapping seems a little weird to me, so I'm going to try to avoid using them because you can't change them in the settings yet. So let's go next. This bar represents the time it will take for events and the waters to arrive in the stage. The wave is here as it comes closer to Oku each turn. Oku is here. In 32 turns, this land will be covered in water. You, the Sigh, must save Oku. Open the map to find Oku's position in the world. Today, Oku is here. Oku lives very close to the Eye and never has to go particularly far. So until the last blink, until the wave appears on the horizon, Oku inspects the area around the Eye. Oku's mission is to repair every damaged path to help the other pupils on the last stretch of their journey. Each cycle, Oku welcomes the new tribes. Oku is always there when no one has yet arrived, and always leaves when everyone else is already gone. And while waiting for their arrival, rubble must be cleared, rope bridges must be fixed, and trails must be blazed. The Eye is here. At the end of the cycle, it is the destination for all pupil tribes. For Oku, it is the next step. Select a path or a halt to find out the travel cost. So when they say halt, they're talking about these stops on the map, and of course with this first map there's only the one you're at and the final one, But in later maps, these are all linked together, and there's several of them here. And we'll see that as we progress. Between Oku's stage and the eye, there is a collapsed bridge that stops progress. It needs to be rebuilt using wood and ore. Collect these resources to help Oku make it to the eye. Close the map to go back to the current stage. So the side kind of has a godlike, I guess, aspect too. So it's kind of like a god, like I don't know, whatever the word is, a god view or a god control kind of a city builder game. To repair the bridge, Oku went to collect some ore and already has 40 stored in transport balloons. Now Oku needs to get the ore back to the tribe. Select Oku. And you can click down here to select him as well. It's a little hard to select. I think it works best if you click the balloon rather than the character. Once Oku has been selected, you can whisper him to move. Right-click on this hex. Right-click on this hex and select the movement action so that Oku will go there. So this is the go-to action or movement action. And as far as the eye, actions take place at the end of a turn. To get Oku to move, click the next turn button. People spend movement points to move. These planes require 1 movement point. Oku has 3 and can easily cross them. Get Oku to move to these planes using a right mouse click and end the turn to validate the action. Okay. The Explorer Zone is represented by gray hexagons. Each pupil has a view range of 1 and will automatically uncover the hexagons located directly adjacent to their position. So we start out in this little isolated little corridor here, and then we work our way out into this open area. We'll go ahead and do that, and then we will continue along. If the movement cost is higher than the number of movement points available, the pupil will need several turns to finish their movement. So we stopped here, and we need to continue again to move into the next tile. Some types of terrain are harder to cross than others. Mountains require 4 movement points. To cross a mountain hex, it will take Oku 2 turns. Move Oku here. So we'll click on his balloon and right-click there, move, and end our turn. And then end our turn again to get him to move the rest of the way. This is Lulu, the caravan. Help Oku get there to drop off the 40 ore. And then a note here is, over long distances, a pupil will always choose the shortest pathway. So let's right-click there and move. Oku has brought 40 ore to the caravan. The ore are now in the stockpile. Note, resources can't be used until they've been put in the stockpile. So our caravan is a yak of some kind here. And oh, by the way, our character is, I think, a panda of some kind. Maybe when we move around, we'll see its face. So based on the way that this story is told, as well as some of the other characters in the story, I'm suspecting this is either based on some Chinese or other Asian, like Central Asian mythology, or it's set up in a way to appear or to make you feel like it is. But either way, it's kind of a neat aspect for me. Now only wood is needed to build a bridge. Wood can be found in forests and jungles. Explore the halt to find some. Okay, so we're going to go maybe over here. And then, of course, end our turn. And let it move. Here is some wood, or some trees in a jungle. And I want to make sure that I explore everything. You need to assign Oku to a building for resource drop-off. Oku only has Lulu, the caravan, to drop off any harvested resources. Select Oku, then right-click on the caravan and choose the wood icon. We already had Oku selected, by the way, so we'll click the wood icon. Oku will change appearance in the assigned building. End the turn to validate the action until Oku has transformed. So one of the other kind of interesting things with this is that our little our people here, our pupils, they change forms depending on what action it is that they are doing. So among pupils, the red panda form corresponds to the gatherer trait. Oku will be able to evolve in this form and gain experience in this trade. Oku took this shape in order to collect wood. When a trade is assigned, a pupil goes about their job independently. Oku will go collect wood in the forest and drop it off at the caravan without further instruction. So over here we have our goals, by the way, of what we need in order to make it to the eye. We need 10 rations, 40 ore, and 80 wood. And we have 240 and 0. So we're going to let Oku keep working here. Oku is not a very experienced gatherer, and it will take 3 turns to collect wood. Let Oku work. Okay, so we just need to keep ending our turns while Oku picks the trees, or chops down trees, or works on the wood here, and then comes back and drops off the wood in the caravan. A bolt of lightning has struck this forest, and the wood is burning. If Oku stays here, they might get badly burned. If a pupil takes too much damage, they will be called back to the Sai and will disappear. Note, fire can spread to adjacent forests, jungles, and buildings. Okay, so instead of Oku coming back here now, Oku needs to go somewhere else. And this is where we want Oku to go here, to this jungle, to continue gathering wood, because the lightning is struck. The clouds gather very quickly and suddenly. The storm is brief but violent, leaving chaos behind. 3 bolts of lightning strike at random, inflicting 100 damage to structures and igniting forests and jungles. Lightning. Okay, and now the wood resource has been depleted, so this is just now a plain tile as opposed to a jungle tile. Plain as in like the geographic plains, not plain as in boring or nothing or bland or vanilla or any of those types of words. So now we are gathering wood in the jungle, and there's a little pouch here of wood on a balloon, and we'll be carrying that back to the... Oh, and you can see Oku has a red panda face now, as opposed to the original face, which was kind of featureless, for lack of a better word. Okay, so now, hooray! All the necessary resources have been collected. Oku can immediately repair the bridge and move onwards towards the eye. Open the map and tell Oku to leave by clicking on the destination. So Oku can take some of the stockpile to the eye by organizing it on Lulu's back. The resources taken along for the journey follow the tribe to the next stage. In this case, they will be useful for the pupils to build their paradise in the eye. Select a resource and put it on Lulu's back. So we have 60 leftover pepkins, which are a food, kind of like probably a vegetable or a fruit. And then we have 190 rations, so we can put those here on Lulu's back as well. Anything left here stays here. Anything here goes with us. There's also possibly the ability of stuff being down here in a mobile storage, but that comes later. I haven't even gotten to that yet. So anything you want to take with you, pile as much as you can on Lulu's back and bring with you, especially when you have multiple stops before you get to the eye. Okay, so we have left for the eye, and well done. You helped Oku to the eye with a load of resources. Oku is safe. You must now guide other tribes here before the waves take them. So we'll go back here, and we'll pick up Chapter 2, Linked by Destiny. Hanki and Shoot must take one of the paths that lead to their next stage. Can you help them get the necessary resources? Learn to choose a path according to the available resources and halt biomes. Construct buildings, tame rhinophilus, and trade on the market. Manage harvest cycles and discover pupils' different forms. Hanki and Shoot are ready to get cracking. So these have kind of a unique appearance as well, but then they take the animal forms still. At the dawn of the 5th blink, the great meeting is closed with the circle ceremony. Every pupil must go to the summit of the great cliffs of the west. It is a hard task, but few do not undertake it. Those who do not join the Sai to guide their companions in future travels. At the summit, a vast plateau awaits the pupils, who sit in concentric circles around sacred stones. Here, the tribes are organized. During the ceremony, each pupil is linked to 2 others, a new circle. A caravan is assigned, and the next day they leave the eye for a new cycle. 2 times already, the ceremony has linked Shoot and Hanki in the same circle. Destiny has decided so. The cycle is reaching its end, and the wind in their balloons has come to announce the arrival of the waters. It is time to leave and make their way to the eye. This time Shoot and Hanki will make the climb to the sacred plateau together. Even though their egos will never let them speak of it, their impatience for the ceremony is tempered by apprehension. This is the caravan. The tribe is composed of two pupils, Shoot and Hanki. Okay, let's go to the map. Shoot and Hanki's tribe is currently 2 halts away from the eye. From their position, 2 different paths are available. Each path has its own difficulties and can lead to very different terrain in which it can be harder to progress. Select the top path to see how much it costs. So you can select the path or you can select the halt. Either way works fine. The cost for this one, to go by the top path, you need to cross a bridge, but the bridge has collapsed and you will need to repair it with wood and ore. Your pupils will need to gather these resources to go this way. Note, this path leads to a fertile land halt. There are many lakes, so movement can be difficult. However, there will be a lot of arable land and there's probably a lot of fish. So these are what we need in order to be able to go to this halt. Because we need to repair the bridge. So we already have plenty of wood, but we would need some ore and some rations. On the bottom path, the tribe will have access to a glacier to reach the next halt. We'll have to cross a glacier to reach the next halt. They will need to collect pepkins to have enough food and some stone, flint to start fires and warm up. Note, this halt is a rainforest. There will be a lot of jungles and bogs, and a lot of wood, but mosquito and disease vagaries are fatal. Okay, so we need 540 pepkins and 100 stone in order to get to this, because we need the food and the stone to make our way across the glacier, basically, in order to get to the jungle here. The tribe doesn't have the necessary resources to make this trip. They will need to find them at the current halt, harvest them, and stock them. To know which path you can take, close the map by clicking on the caravan's halt and explore the halt to find out what resources it has to offer. Okay, so we're going to take... Oh, sorry, I need to follow the tutorials, or the tips here. Shoot and Hanki only know part of the halt. Explore the halt to know your options. Each resource can only be found in specific hexes. You will never find pepkins on mountains or in lakes. Okay, so let's take Hanki down here. And let's take Shoot over here. And then end the turn. Okay, so we found some plains that contain some pepkins, 400 pepkins. The hill contains nothing, the mountain contains nothing. Now go up to here. And up to here. We found a hill here that contains 120 stone. And we have a mountain with no resources, and so far nothing else has any resources on it. There's nothing in the lake either. With food and some stone, you can go via the glacier. If it's not already your current objective, select the glacier on the map screen, then close the map. It is our current glacier, our current goal, the glacier, or going to the rainforest via the glacier, so we'll keep that. Pepkins are base resources and can be harvested via the caravan. Assign Shoot and Hanki to collect pepkins by selecting each pupil, then right-clicking on the hex containing the pepkins or on the caravan. End the turn to validate the action. Okay, so we want Shoot to collect pepkins, and we want Hanki to collect pepkins. And they'll just go to whatever tile that contains the pepkins is easiest to get to, but only one... Oh, sorry, here, yes. Pupils need space, and 2 can't work on the same hexagon. Assign them each to their own hex, or to the caravan so they can find their own hex, and end the turn. So they'll just come here, and then they'll go in their own way here to a pepkin patch. Hanki and Shoot have changed appearance to take on their gatherer form, which is the red panda. They will each go to work on their own hex without getting in each other's way. The pupils will collect pepkins for 3 turns, drop them off in the stockpile caravan, then go back to harvesting. A pupil will continue performing the same assigned action until you stop them or they run out of resources to harvest. Okay, let's send them, and we're going to have to keep ending the turns to get them to bring back. Okay, so Shoot gathered 40, and Hanki gathered 40 pepkins. And now they're going to come back. Hanki has to cross this hill, which costs a lot more movement to cross whereas Shoot is able to go across the plain, which is faster. And let's keep going here. These pepkins are much further than the stockpile building than the others. The pupil only has 3 movement points per turn and will take much longer to go to and from between the hex and the stockpile. It will take them many more turns to bring back the same amount of resources as the other pupil. Using this hex is not particularly efficient for now. 1 pupil will be sufficient. Hanki can handle it. Meanwhile, Shoot will go and get some stone. Note, if a closer resource hex is freed up, a pupil will go toward the closer hex at the end of their harvest cycle. Pupils can't collect or store stone in the caravan. You'll need to construct a building, a quarry. Select Shoot and open up their build menu. Okay, that's here and here. And building a permanent quarry requires 100 wood. Fortunately, Shoot and Hanki already have that much in the stockpile. Select the quarry in Shoot's build menu. Building a permanent quarry requires 100 wood. Fortunately, we already said that. There is also this mobile quarry. That's where the building with the balloons on it, sort of like the movie Up, is. But we obviously don't have the resources for this yet. So let's pick this one here. And buildings can only be built on planes. So that's any of these plane tiles. Be aware that any resources on a hex will be lost during construction. Place the quarry as close as possible to the stone, so Shoot can gather quickly. Once the position has been indicated, Shoot will go and build the designated structure. And then we can cancel construction by clicking the Destroy button. Used resources will be recuperated. Once the building has been fully built, if you destroy it, you'll get nothing back. So I'm going to click this one here. Either one of the adjacent tiles would be good enough, but I'll pick that one. Next turn. Next turn. Shoot has become a bird, the shape that builders take, and will build the building for 3 turns. Let's zoom in on him. So now you can see that Shoot is a bird, and Hanki is still a red panda. Pupils take a different form depending on the task they are performing. They can change role and appearance at will. Okay, and again, Hanki has gathered 40 pepkins. Well done. Shoot has built a quarry. You must now assign Shoot to stone collection via the building or the hills where the stone can be found. For now, you only need to collect enough stone and pempkins to cross the glacier. So I'm just going to right-click on the quarry and pick stone, and then Shoot will pick the nearest stone patch, which is, of course, the adjacent one. Okay. Next turn. And now Shoot can start mining the stone. As you can see, it's kind of floating like he's magicking it out of the ground. And he has changed form again. He's not a bird anymore, but he's also not a red panda. But I don't think it said anything about the form that they get. So, just like before, they have put the resources in the balloon to carry him. And then Shoot returned to the quarry with 40 stone, and Hanki returned to the caravan with 40 pepkins. Let's keep moving. So Shoot's going to have to work 3 times to finish. And Hanki's done this time around. Okay, but we'll go ahead and let Hanki keep gathering pepkins, because otherwise she's just going to stand around. Or he. Okay, a hill cell stone resource is depleted. So, Shoot managed to get 40 more stone out of the deal. So now we have 120 stone and 600 food pepkins, which is more than enough. All the necessary resources have been obtained. Open the map and select the next halt to prepare to leave. Okay, so we'll click here. And again, I will click and drag, and for whatever reason, wood is vertical. So that's kind of a puzzle maybe later on, where you have to align everything so you can fit as much in as possible. The food and stone needed for this journey have been removed from the stockpile, but some resources remain. Everything you leave behind will be lost. Take as many resources as you can by placing them on the caravan's back, as we did, and you'll have them for the next halt. Then click on Leave. Note, the permanent quarry will stay in this halt. Permanent buildings are cheap to build, but can't be moved or carried between halts. Build mobile buildings if you want to carry them to the next halt. Okay, we'll leave. And yes. The tribe has crossed the glacier and is now in a tropical halt. They must stop for a while so they can find the necessary resources to cross the next obstacle. However, the halt they left behind is now under the waves. They mustn't tarry on their way to the eye. The eye is the next halt. Select the eye or the path to the eye to find out what the pupils need to get there, then close the map. So we need 50 wood, which we have 100. We need 10 ore, which we have none, and we need 120 stone, which we have 20. This halt is a little different from the previous one. It's a tropical biome where one will find more jungles and bogs than in other halts. Note, in a regular playthrough, the pupils start their journey in a large, balanced halt, as it's where the tribe has decided to live for the cycle. As such, one can find practically everything there. Here is the caravan, which has just arrived at the halt. For now, the pupils are inside. They'll get out when the beast is settled for installation. The caravan moves exactly like the pupils, but only has 2 movement points. Move the caravan to a strategic location to install the camp. Maybe we'll move up here. Note, the caravan can't be set up on land that's too steep or too wet. It will only be happy on a plain, but can crush the trees of a forest to make enough space. Okay. And it must have cost us extra points to move through bog. It did. Okay. So we are here, and given that we can see most of this, this is probably one of the better places. Either this tile are probably the best places to set this up. But I think we're going to do this one because this one's a little more centrally located. Click on the installation button to install the caravan. Be aware, once installed, the caravan will not move again until departing the halt. Choose the position wisely. So we have lots of forests, we have bogs that have nothing in them, lake nothing, mountains nothing. There's some pepkins over here in the hills, but there's also some here on the plains. So we'll probably get those first. Hill, nothing there, nothing. And then of course a jungle with trees, lots of jungles. So let's go ahead and settle. Here are Shoot and Hanky once again. They've left the caravans back. Explore the map. Gather the necessary resources to repair the railroad, then guide the tribe to the eye before the water rises. Alright, so let's see. Shoot, let's see. No, nothing else. Okay, so Shoot, I want you to come up here. Just move. And Hanky, I want you to come over here. Just move. The entire map has been explored, and not a trace of ore. You can't repair the railway line without ore. Whisper to Shoot that they should build a market by opening Shoot's construction window in the selection window. A market is a building that allows resource trading with other tribes. Peoples attach crates of resources to balloons which, carried by the wind, quickly find their destination. Soon enough, the requested resources find their way back attached to a small balloon. Okay, so we can build. We need to build an annex building here. The market is an appendix. It's a structure built on the back of a pack animal. As such, each appendix requires you to have a rhinophilo in stock. Rhinophilos are base resources which may be gathered directly from the caravan. Find and collect a rhinophilo in order to build the market. If you interrupt a pupil taking back resources to a building, those resources will be dropped and lost forever. Unlike other resources, there is only one rhinophilo per hex. Wait for the pupil to bring it to the caravan. Okay, so we want Shoot to pick up that rhinophilo. And then, let's see, Hanky can't do any building. So I think we can have her gathering wood. Maybe we'll have her gather the wood here. It's because she can't do any building, that means that she can't gather the stone because she can't build a quarry. So we'll have her gather wood. You can also have her gather pepkins. It doesn't really matter. Continue. Okay. So now Shoot is starting to gather or possibly tame the what's it called again? I forgot. Rhinophilo. That's what it's called. Okay. We have now Plain sells pack animal resources depleted. We have acquired the rhinophilo. It is also riding on a balloon, which is kind of fun. And he's heading back to the base here. Okay. All the necessary resources to build a market have been obtained. Choose a pupil to build it, then select the market in the Appendices tab of the construction menu. So we need, of course, to pick Shoot in order to build the market. An appendix can only be built on a hex adjacent to the caravan and only on a plain or a forest. This is why the placing of the caravan is important. It needs to be near the base resources like wood or pepkins, but also needs to be adjacent to plains or forests so you can build appendices. Build a market. Okay, so we're going to build the market here. So maybe having swapped these would have been better because then we'd have been closer to the pepkins, but I think we're okay. Okay, so let's continue and let Shoot go and build that. Shoot has switched into his bird form in order to be a builder. Okay. Like all appendices, the market doesn't need a pupil to operate it. Not all resources have the same value, and the exchange rate changes depending on the resources you have to offer. Obtain ore. We'll click here on the market, and we'll click the trade button, which I wish the tutorial kind of told you about. It took me a moment to figure that little bit out when I was doing this. We're interested in ore. Ore costs 40 wood to get 1 ore. That's a lot. 40 pepkins also. We don't have any fish on this icon, or game, or cereals, or spices, or wool. We do also have stone, which is 10 to 1. But we also need stone in order to continue to the next thing. So I want to be careful here. Fortunately, this hill has 400 stone. In order to get the 10 ore, that would mean we would need 100 stone, plus the 120 we need to proceed, which means we have plenty. So I'm going to do that as my objective. But I'm going to also have Shoot go and start building. Nope, can't build a quarry yet. We need more wood. Let's see. We'll have enough in the next turn, so I'm going to... actually, I'm going to have Shoot go ahead and move. By the way, if you saw the flag there, I meant to point that out in the first map. That shows you where their destination is. Each person has their own color, and that's the destination that is... Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to actually do the trade. Let's do some stone to ore. We can only trade 20 stone for 2 ore right now, so we'll go ahead and do that trade. Great, a friendly tribe has sent you ore. Complete the halt objective by gathering all the necessary resources, then get to the eye using the map. Okay, so now we're kind of in a little bit of a free-for-all mode. We do not have enough wood yet, but I think Hanki is bringing it back to the caravan now, so I'm going to go ahead and proceed without moving Shoot anymore. We now have enough wood to build the quarry. Let's go ahead and build that here. And then we'll have to go through a couple of turns to get that built while Hanki is still gathering trees. And actually, a plain sells wood resources depleted, so now this jungle becomes a plain. Okay, and you are done, so we're going to have you mine the stone. And again, I could have right-clicked here and chosen mine the stone from there as well. That would have just chosen the nearest stone deposit, whereas I've told Shoot to go to this stone deposit. The jungle has been decimated. The tribe has collected all the wood from this jungle. Pupils are a respectful people who only take what they need. A people has no sense of ownership, so little that they don't even have their own assigned beds. They do what they can to leave as little trace of their passing as they can, and they look after the lands they cross by replanting as they leave. Nature does not forgive easily and will punish a harmful tribe. As such, if pupils stay too long in one place and start to become too much of a burden, nature will push them along. Do not spend too long at each halt, and don't take resources the tribe doesn't need, for climactic and mystical vagaries could strike the tribe down. Okay, so we do need some more wood, so we're going to have Hanki, she's returning the resources. We'll wait for a turn. And Shoot just changed into the red panda form. Okay, so now we'll have her come and collect the wood from this jungle tile down here. I've assigned Hanki as a she and Shoot as a he for whatever reason in my brain. I don't know that there's any distinction here, but okay. So we have gathered some stone and some wood. And now it's time to keep progressing the turns. We have plenty of turns, as you can see by the tooltip, before there's actually a flood. The floodwaters get here, but we can proceed anyway and gather everything we need. We need to gather a little bit more stone. We have plenty of wood. We could do some pepkin gathering too, so as to not deplete this jungle. It has 20 more wood in it, so it's a good time. And now we have enough stone, but we still don't have enough ore. So we need to come to the market here and trade 80 for 8. Trade. And now we need more stone. Okay, now we have enough everything. So let's go to the map. Choose our destination of the eye. And as far as the eye, your score depends on rescued pupils, along with the resources and buildings you have with them. Appendices are buildings carried by Ranuflos. They instinctively follow the caravan and accompany your tribe on every step of the journey. As they have their own Ranuflos, they don't take up space in the stockpile. As such, each appendix built systematically follows the tribe until the eye. Take as much as possible to the eye so the pupils have all they need. Okay, so we need to take some of this wood, and we have a little bit extra here. And then some of this pepkin, and that's it. So let's click leave, and yes, Shoot and Honky have arrived at the eye. They are impatient to share their newly gained knowledge with the other tribes. In a few blinks, the waves will have covered the entire surface of the world, and all the pupils will have gathered at the eye. A new cycle comes to a close. By the fire, lost in thought, the two peoples have already left for the next cycle. Climbing the Great Western Cliff will only be a formality. But what will their third circle ceremony have in store for them? Okay, so we have completed the first 2 chapters, and we're at a good ending point for this episode, time-wise. I want to thank Unexpected and Goblins for the key to playing this game, by the way. I forgot to thank them at the beginning of the episode. I'm really enjoying this. As I said, there are a couple things that I would change, including the controls, but that is planned. That's in the kind of in the roadmap, or it's talked about if you go to the options menu. Let's actually escape out of here and go into the options menu. Input says coming soon, so hopefully at some point we'll be able to change those key bindings, because I think I would have a much more, be much more logical to me if they were mapped a little bit differently than they are. But this is where we're going to leave this for today. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.